Skip, what do you expect tonight?
LeBron, he's something, you know.
Whoa, what you mean he's something?
Yesterday, he says, I didn't feel so hot the other night. I'm going to feel a lot better tomorrow night. You know, I have to shake off the rust here. My body's aching a little bit. Baloney. So, here's what I expect tonight. A much closer game than in game one. And I've been ahead of these curves. I told you that game one was going to be a wipeout, but this will not be a wipeout. This will not be 61-39 at halftime, because the Celtics on their home floor before some of the best fans in pro basketball got annihilated and humiliated in game one. And I think they will remind themselves that they were the #1 overall seed in the East by 2 games over the Cleveland Cavaliers. And they will come out tonight much more ready to fight for their playoff lives, to display their pride and their toughness that we've seen all year long from Isaiah Thomas and company. And I agree with J.R. Smith, who sort of warned his teammates, hey, he's going to anticipate there's going to be some dirty plays, some cheap shots from Boston, because they have some of that in them. And I think you're going to see some of that tonight, because that's about all they got against this team. They're going to go down, quote unquote, swinging, not literally, but figuratively.
So muck it up.
They're going to muck it up. And they're going to have to hark back to the one win they had in this building over the Cavaliers. Remember that fateful night of March 1st? What happened that night? They outshot the Cavs from 3, 13-10. They out-rebounded the Cleveland Cavaliers, featuring Tristan Thompson, 47-41. And they even outshot them at the free throw line. They had 18 makes to only 15 for LeBron's team. So that's the formula whereby you do this. And remember, Boston's not a very good rebounding team. They were 4th worst rebounding team in the league. Now, I got to remind you, Kevin Love didn't play that night, and J.R. Smith didn't play that night. Just for the record, I got it. But you have to get LeBron James, forgive me for bringing this back up, but you have to get him in a late game freeze-up situation where you're going to make him make a choice. And I'm not sure they're good enough to get him where they got him on March 1st, because remember that night?
Yes.
He turned down a 3-point shot, and then he turned down a freight train drive shot when Jay Crowder blew past him on the sellout closeout on the 3-point shot, and he chose to pass it all the way across court to the newest Cleveland Cavalier, a guy who had just joined the team playing his first game, Darren Williams, who then took the 3 down 2 to put them up 1 with 6 seconds left, and naturally, predictably, he missed that shot. So that's the formula whereby you have to get them to that spot to hope that LeBron freezes up or makes the wrong choice. You think it was the right choice. I think it was the wrong one, but that's your only hope here. I think it'll be much closer. I don't think it'll be close enough. I'm going to go Cleveland 105-99, just because I think LeBron is that much better ultimately than Jay Crowder or anybody else who can guard him.
So you say this is not going to be a blowout. And did Larry Bird or Kevin McHale come back and play?
They're not walking through that door.
So is that the reason why you don't think it's going to be a blowout?
Well, I just think on pride alone, it's not going to be a blowout.
So they had no pride in game one, huh?
I think they were shell-shocked. I think they got hit by a force because they've been playing the weak Eastern Conference, including the Washington Wizards, who play no defense. And all of a sudden, they got hit between the eyes by a very good defensive team, taking it up to its highest level, a level at which we saw Cleveland never play the whole regular season.
Well, Skip, I think it's going to be a very similar result to Wednesday. For the simple fact, I believe the Cavaliers will shoot much better from the three-point line. Now, inside the three-point line, they were phenomenal. But Kyle Korver had some looks. He's not going to miss those.
1 for 6.
LeBron James had some good looks. He went 1 for 6. I don't believe that'll happen again. And if they hit those shots, let's just say they make half of the 12 between those two, because Kyle Korver is very capable of going 5 or 6, 5 or 7 from the three-point line. The reason why they can't out-rebound the Cavaliers is because Tristan Thompson, he's what I call a clock guy. He's going to punch in the clock, he's going to do his job, he's going to punch out, and you're going to be very happy with what he did. Now, anytime Tristan Thompson can give you 8 points or more, that's a plus, because you know he's going to rebound, you know he's going to protect the rim, and the thing is, he's better at pick-and-roll defense than probably any other big guy, because he can slide his feet. He understands what the guy's trying to do.
We talked about it, but he did a great job on Isaiah coming off on the switch.
The question is, will the Cavaliers be engaged for the entire game defensively. Because we saw for 2.5 quarters, the Celtics really got nothing. And then the third quarter, they had a lapse, especially like with about 7 minutes on, and they let the Celtics score 36 points to get back into the ball game. I think LeBron understands, and he will have talked to his team that, look, we can't have these lulls. This is not the time that we want to regress to where we were after the All-Star game defensively. But here's the problem for the Celtics. If you give a front line, LeBron James, Kevin Love, Tristan Thompson, you give them 90 points, Skip, you're not beating them. I don't care what formula. I don't care what answers you have to solve this formula. You give LeBron James, you give Kevin Love and Tristan Thompson 90 points of the 117, you're not beating them. Now, you notice in that interview, LeBron James had a Kyrie Irving shirt on. He understands. He knows Kyrie.
Oh, I did not notice that. That's good eye for detail. So he's sending a message.
I
need
dog.
you.
No, I got you, dog.
I think I need you,
Yeah.
dog.
Hey,
Huh?
I'm going to hold the fort down until you get that stuff going. But I'm going to need you.
Maybe LeBron thinks he's going to need some stuff tonight.
He might.
Yeah.
And I guess what? He'll be able to give it to him. Another problem that the Celtics have, they don't have anybody that can guard LeBron. They're either too small, too slow, or too weak. Now, they got the perfect guys. If you had Jay Crowder's height, Marcus Smart's strength, and you had Avery Bradley's feet, if you combine those people in one, you got the perfect LeBron stop.
Yeah. See, Jay Crowder, he's not athletic enough. He looks the part, and he's built the part, but he can't move the part.
Got to work on his bench. You need to get that bench at like 315.
Well, he looks like he's got natural strength.
You know, LeBron do like 350 on the bench.
Does he really?
Yeah.
You lift with him a lot.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Oh.
So that's the problem. Skip, I don't know why you got beef with. What up, a bad man? Oh!
He's a bad man. So speaking of that, before I leave this topic, so I just want to get this straight. So Shannon Sharpe has gone from predicting early on that Boston would win a game to Boston is going to get blown out in both Boston games.
No. I don't think that. Well, see, the game on Wednesday night was a lot bigger than the final score would indicate. I think it would be 10 points, but I don't think they'll get that 30-point lead like they had in game one. But Skip, do you actually expect them to go shoot 35% again? They're gonna put up more threes, first of all, and they're gonna hit those threes. Now, the decision that they're gonna make, probably, I think, is that, look, when LeBron starts to drive and beat one guy, we got to give help. And when you give help, so he might not have 30 points. He might have 25 to 28, but he's gonna probably have 12 to 15 assists. Because if you're willing to leave those three-point shooters, he's going to find them. But what's amazing about LeBron, Skip, is that he's increased his scoring average in each round and increased his field goal percentage. So not only he went from 26 regular season, shooting 54, go to 32, go to 36.
His opponents keep
Whoa,
worse
Skip,
and worse and worse.
Skip, I don't know about that, all that. This is the number one seed in the East. You said they gonna get this, and LeBron James gonna have to go to the Garden.
I didn't think.
That man don't
I
care
never thought much of Boston.
where y'all want to play. Like you always tell somebody.
I told you I like Chicago a lot. Chicago went in the first two games, won both of them at Boston Garden.